Hi, my name is Emily. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's class. Today we're going to be hopping into a vigorous Vinyasa flow featuring a lot of back bends and maybe some more advanced options. So you do not need any props for this practice as usual, but they're always more than welcome. If you would like to use a strap or blocks to help you in any way, they can be a really great tool. But you do not need anything. So we will begin by starting in child's pose on our mats. Knees wide apart, big toes together. And then let's rest the forehead down on the floor. And start by just closing the eyes, taking a moment to center yourself here, to let go of anything that has happened today, maybe this morning or during the beginning of your week. And setting an intention of just being fully immersed in the present moment, fully present with yourself, giving yourself your undivided attention. And let's take another 5 breaths here as you start to become more and more aware of the space around you, as you start to really feel the connection between your body and the earth beneath you, the mat, the floor. Feeling all the different textures. And of course, bringing your awareness to your breath. Let's deepen the breath. Breathing in and out of the nose, engaging Ujjayi. Ujjayi breath simply is restricting the back of the throat, making the breath audible, creating a lot of internal energy. From here, let's make our way into tabletop and just start to move in any direction that feels good. Articulating the spine in some cat and cows, maybe moving the hips side to side or in any other direction that feels good. And now, keeping with the movement, let's tuck the toes, make our way into downward facing dog, where you can continue to move, pedaling out the feet, shaking out the hips, the head. And then from here, let's find stillness in our downward facing dog. Stretching out the backs of the legs a little bit more, trying to pull those heels down towards the mat, squeezing navel in. And then as you breathe out, let's come high on the toes and round forward into a high plank. Bend the knees, inhale, pull the hips back and up, keeping the knees hovering off the floor. 5 times. Exhale, round forward. Inhale, pull the hips back and up. Try to arch the back as much as you can. I know it's not the easiest thing. All the way back to down dog. And again, round forward. Inhale, pull back. Exhale, round forward. Inhale, pull back. One more, breathe out. Inhale, pull back, down dog. Now in your downward facing dog, right leg rises. Bend the right knee, open up the hip. And really try to squeeze your right heel towards your right glute, as if you want the heel to touch the butt. Now, as you breathe out, let's step the right foot in between the hands. Drop the left knee. Inhale, reach the arms up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, it's cactus the arms, open up the heart. And on your next exhale, let's interlace the hands at the lower back, opening up the heart a little bit more. And then let's pull the hips back, reach the chest forward, half splits. So here, make sure you're not rounding. We want to keep the chest open today, so activating the muscles in the spine. Let's release the left hand down, left hand underneath the left shoulder, right arm reaches up to the sky. Momentarily pull the right hip back to find a stretch. And then untuck the left toes. Let's swing the right leg towards the back of the mat, keeping it in the air. And then bend your right knee, right hand holds the top of the right foot or right ankle. Inhale to kick back into your right hand and open up the chest. And slowly release, extend the right leg back, right arm reaches over your right ear, right foot is on the floor for a nice gentle side stretch. Maybe rolling out the right wrist if that feels good. And then breathing out, let's make our way into high plank. Right hand comes on the mat, step the left foot back. Exhale, lower all the way down to the floor. Let's tent the fingers on either side of the mat, and then using the strength of your back, inhale, lift into a baby cobra. Exhale to lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. One more. Exhale to release. Hands come underneath the shoulders, tuck your toes, make your way through either child's pose, tabletop, or high plank, back to downward facing dog. Left leg rises, inhale, bend the left knee, open up the hip and pause. Remember to try to touch the glute with your left heel. And if you cramp, you can always straighten the leg and then rebend. On your next exhale, left foot steps between the hands. Drop the right knee, reach the arms up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, cactus the arms. 2 breaths here. Actively lifting the chest up and lifting out of the waist, making sure you're not compressing the lower back. Breathing out, let's interlace the hands at the lower back. Inhale to open up the heart. Exhale to pull the hips back towards the right heel and reach the chest forward. And now slowly release the right hand, untuck the right toes, left arm reaches up to the sky. And then let's swing the left leg back, keeping the leg in the air. Bend your left knee, left hand holds the top of the left foot. And let's kick back, opening up the chest a little bit more. Slowly release your left foot, step the left foot on the floor behind you, and side stretch, left arm reaches over the left ear. And exhale, let's come into a high plank. Breathe in here, breathe out, chaturanga, lower halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, let's come high on the toes, bend the knees, look forward, step or float the feet to the outsides of your hands. Inhale, let's straighten the legs, reach the arms up. Exhale, re-bend the knees, plant the hands, step or jump back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 more modified sun salutations, just like that. Inhale, come high on the toes, bend the knees, look forward, step or float. Inhale, stand up tall, feet are wide apart. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, step or jump back. Chaturanga. Downward facing dog, breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, come high on the toes, bend the knees, step or jump. Stand up tall, inhale, and then exhale, let's come into malasana, bend the knees completely, hands at the heart space. And let's just take a moment to shift the weight from one foot to the other, just opening up the hips a little bit more, and making sure that you're not rounding your back. So really pulling the shoulder blades back and down, trying to lift up through the crown of the head. Now the right hand will come behind you. Let's push into both heels, lift the chest, and just hang out here for a moment. And you don't need to be this much into a back bend. You can have the knees a little more bent, whatever feels accessible to you. Now as you breathe out, bend the knees, come back to malasana. And then next exhale, left hand comes behind you, push into the heels, lift the hips, lift the chest, and hold. Right arm just extends behind you. And with each inhale, trying to expand the front body as much as you can. Exhale, come back through center. Let's do 3 more on each side. 1 breath, 1 movement. And of course you can go slower if that is too fast, so you can do the same pace we just did. And if this is too much, then maybe just stay here in Malasana and take a twist as I'm showing right now. Otherwise, let's bring the right hand behind us. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, back to Malasana. Hands to the heart space. Left hand comes behind you. Inhale, lift. Exhale, Malasana. 2 more on each side. Right hand, inhale, lift. Exhale, Malasana. Feeling the legs burning already. Left hand comes behind you. Inhale, lift. Exhale, Malasana. 1 more time, right hand. And left hand. Coming back to Malasana, let's plant the hands, step or jump back, chaturanga. And into downward facing dog. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. As you breathe in, right leg rises. Bend the right knee, open up the hip, and then let's flip the dog into wild thing. Inhale. Keeping your left leg straight, exhale, let's drop the hips down. They can touch the mat or just hover. Inhale, lift. Exhale, drop the hips again. Inhale, lift, so it's all in the right leg. Exhale, drop. Inhale, lift the hips. Now let's pause in a side plank. Right knee maybe pulls towards your right shoulder. And then slowly step the right foot to the top of the mat. Breathing in, crescent lunge, rise up. Exhale, interlace your hands at your lower back. Open up the heart for 3. Squeeze the glutes for 2. And 1, let's reach forward. Come into warrior 3. Arms reach towards the top of the mat. Flex your left toes and hold. On your next inhale, stand up tall, left knee into the chest. Exhale, figure 4. The left ankle crosses over the right knee and hold for 3, 2, 1. Chair pose, breathe in. Exhale, plant the hands, step or jump back, chaturanga. Next inhale, left leg rises. Bend the left knee, open up the hip. Maybe flip your dog, wild thing. Inhale here. Exhale, 2. Drop the hips for 3. Inhale, lift. 2. And 1. Inhale, lift the hips. Pause in side plank. Left knee towards left shoulder. Oops. And then let's step the left foot to the top of the mat. Crescent lunge, both arms reach up. Exhale, interlace the hands at the low back. Breathe in, open up the heart. And making sure you're really lifting out of your lower back, not collapsing the weight in the lumbar spine. Now let's shift the weight forward, warrior 3. Right leg floats. Next inhale, stand up tall, right knee into the chest. Exhale, figure 4 for 3. And then let's drop the right foot down, chair pose, reach the arms up. Exhale, plant the hands, step or jump back. Chaturanga. 3 breaths here. On your next inhale, right leg rises. Bend the right knee, open up the hip. Let's flip the dog wild thing. 1 time, drop your hips. Inhale, lift the hips, pause in side plank. Right knee towards right shoulder. Slowly, right foot steps to the top of the mat. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, cactus the arms. Maybe dip your left knee slightly. And then make your way into warrior 3. 1 breath. Next inhale, left knee into the chest. Exhale, cross your left ankle over your right knee. Figure 4. Right hand on the right hip, left peace fingers around the left big toe. Let's stand up tall and slowly start to maybe kick your left leg out. Good. Making sure that the shoulders stay leveled here. The left shoulder is not coming out of the socket. From here, let's make our way into dancer pose, keeping the left hand on the left foot. Right arm reaches up to the sky, and either you're holding your left foot or maybe slightly underneath, like the left shin. That'll help you be able to go a little bit deeper. Slowly start to kick back, dancer. Now from here, we're going to come back to warrior 3 momentarily and just step your left foot back. Left hand comes down underneath the left shoulder, right arm reaches up to the sky. Drop the left knee, bend the left knee if that's accessible, and then right hand holds the top of the left foot. Slowly, let's release. Frame the right foot, step back, high plank or 3-legged plank. Exhale, chaturanga. On your next inhale, let's lift the left leg up high. Bend the left knee, open up the hip. Let's flip the dog wild thing. Breathing in. Exhale, 1 time, lower the hips. Inhale to lift, momentarily pause in side plank, left knee into the left shoulder, and then step your left foot to the top of the mat. Crescent lunge, inhale. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, warrior 3. On your next inhale, right knee into the chest. Exhale, figure 4. Now peace fingers, the right hand, wrap around the right big toe. Let's stand up tall. Kick the right leg out and hold. I'm sweating bullets today. It is so hot. So I hope some of you are in the same boat as me. From here, we're going to make our way into dancer. So the right arm goes on the outside of the right knee. Drop the right knee by your left knee, and then flip the grip. Right hand holds either the right foot or right shin. Left arm reaches up and start to kick into the right hand. Now we're going to keep the chest forward. Let go of the leg without slingshotting. Let's bring the right hand down on the mat. Right foot steps very far to the back of the mat. Left arm reaches up. Drop the right knee, bend the right knee, and then left hand can hold the top of the right foot. Open the chest and twist. And let's slowly release. Frame the left foot, step back, high plank or 3-legged plank, chaturanga. All right, last time through the flow, right leg rises, inhale. Bend the right knee, wild thing. Let's pause in wild thing. Try to bring the tops of your toes down on the mat. So if you can, point the toes and bring like your nail down on the floor. And then right knee into right shoulder. Slowly step right foot to the top of the mat. Crescent lunge, rise up. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, stand up tall, left knee into the chest, into figure 4. 1 breath, 1 movement. Right hand on the right hip, left peace fingers around the left big toes. Extend your left leg out, and then slowly make your way into dancer. But we're going to pause here. You can either do dancer again, or maybe you can slide your left foot into your left elbow crease and slightly flex your toes. So it's not completely flexed, not pointed, but like your foot is pointed, but the toes are flexed so that you can really hook into the elbow. Left arm points up, maybe right arm reaches up. Maybe you can hold your hands together for mermaid dancer. And let's hold. Now slowly release the bind of the hands. We're just going to hold the left foot with the left hand and then see if you can bring your right hand down on the mat. Keep the chest closed and keep kicking into your left hand. Slowly release the left foot to the back of the mat. Left hand comes down on the floor once again. Find the twist. Exhale, frame your right foot, step back, high plank or three-legged plank, chaturanga. Next inhale, left leg rises. Bend the left knee, open up the hip, wild thing. Again, maybe coming with the top of the foot. Maybe there's no weight on the left foot at all. So you can challenge yourself here, engaging the hamstrings. Left knee into left shoulder. Let's step the left foot to the top of the mat. Crescent lunge, rise up. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, reach forward. Warrior three, right foot floats. And then exhale, hands to the heart space, right knee into the chest, into figure four. Peace fingers of the right hand, hold the right big toe, breathe in, stand up tall, kick the right leg out. Exhale into dancer, take your time. Either dancer again, or maybe sliding the left foot into the right foot, into your right elbow crease. Right arm points up. Maybe left arm reaches up, bending the left elbow behind the head, holding the fingertips together. Let's hold. Feel free to micro bend your left knee for three. Slowly release the bind of the hands. Right hand holds the right foot. And then maybe left hand finds the floor. Keep kicking up, so you should really feel all that power in the right leg. Slowly release the right foot to the back of the mat. Right hand comes underneath your right shoulder. Left arm reaches up, twist. Exhale, frame your left foot, three-legged plank or normal high plank into chaturanga. Back to downward facing dog. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And last tiny little sequence before we go back down to the mat. Right leg reaches up high, inhale. Exhale, bend the right knee, open up the hip. Let's not flip this time, or if you want to, of course you can. Right knee then crosses over to the left elbow, and then let's cross the right ankle over the left knee, coming into a modified side plank. Now let's bring the left hand down on the mat, pivot as if you're doing a down dog, and let's walk the hands all the way back to the left foot, so we're in figure four. Let's keep the hands down on the mat as you just stretch here. Maybe you wrap the elbows around your right leg. Try to keep your back flat, just make sure you're not hunching in the shoulders. Neck stays long like a turtle peeking out of its shell. And then we're going to make our way down to the mat. I don't know how this is going to work because my legs are so slippery, but using the hands on the mat, slowly lift your left heel and come to a seat. And then you can play around with finding balance. And then let's kick the right leg out and drop the right heel. Bend the right knee, come into a lunge. Heel toe your right foot over to your left wrist for pigeon pose. Now we're not going to go down into sleeping pigeon. We're going to work on back bending a little more. So let's bend the left knee, and you can just play around with pulling the left heel a little bit closer to your back. Try to keep your chest open. Exact same thing we did in dancer pose, just on the ground. Either you stay right here, or maybe the right arm reaches up, and then you can once again come into mermaid, holding the fingertips together. If that is not enough for you and you want to go deeper, there is still king pigeon. Just make sure that you're not falling to the right. The hips is not opening the left hip, so try to keep your hips squared. For a king pigeon, left hand needs to hold the top of the left foot. So I hope you can see this in the camera, but I'm holding underneath. My thumb is on the outer blade, fingers are inside, and then I'm going to flip the grip. And I'm flexing the toes so that it doesn't slip. And then maybe right hand also reaches back, and you can play around with bringing the crown of the head into the hands. Make sure that you're not feeling compression in your lower back, that you're expanding the front body and not just dumping all the weight into your spine. And then when you're done, try to not slingshot your leg. Slowly make your way out. And we will come into downward facing dog. If you need a moment in tabletop, you can. Otherwise, downward facing dog, bending the knees a few times or moving the hips side to side, bringing mobility back into your lower back. And these are really deep back bends, so no abrupt movements right afterwards. Being very, very gentle. And then we will do that one more time on the left. So left leg rises, bend the knee, open up the hip. Let's bring the left knee to the right elbow, pause, cross your left ankle over the right knee, come into side plank. Keep the cross of the legs, right hand comes back down, make your way into downward facing dog, and then start to walk the hands back to your feet. Figure 4. Hands can stay on the mat, or you can wrap your elbows around your foot and your left knee, keeping the spine nice and straight. From here, we're going to find balance, bringing fingertips down on the mat, slowly sitting down on your right heel. And literally my leg is just slipping off. So next up is to extend the left leg forward. Come into a lunge with the help of your hands. Heel toe the left foot over to the right wrist. Drop the left knee and then slide your right leg back for pigeon pose. Lift out of your lower back. Make sure your back muscles are very, very engaged. You're not just pushing yourself into the back bend. You can stay there without holding. Maybe stay here for a couple breaths and work on this. If you want to go deeper, you can bend your right knee. Make sure the right hip does not open. Maybe come into mermaid, as we did in dancer. And if you feel like you want to go deeper, which you don't necessarily have to, right hand holds the top of the right foot, flip the grip. This is the part that a lot of people struggle with. You need to rotate your elbow up towards the sky. And then maybe the left hand joins as well. The more deep the pose, the more mindful you need to be. The slower you need to move, the more aware of your breath you need to be, so please do not rush it. Okay, take a few moments, and then we will slowly make our way back into tabletop whenever you're ready. And very gently moving the hips side to side. And we're going to twist, which is really nice to do after back bends. You especially don't want to go into any deep forward folds after a back bend. So let's slide the right arm underneath the left shoulder and look over to the left. Extend your left arm towards the top of the mat. If you want, you can also straighten your left leg. And now let's release the left knee. Left hand comes underneath the left shoulder. Inhale, right arm reaches up to the sky. Let's open. Exhale, tabletop. Now left arm slides underneath the right shoulder. Right arm reaches forward. Maybe right leg extends back. Let's bring the right knee, right hand back underneath the right shoulder. Left arm reaches up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, tabletop. Walk your knees towards your wrists. Let's cross over and we'll come all the way down to the back. Into constructive rest, meaning the feet stay wide apart, knees together. And let's knock the knees side to side a couple times, really releasing the lower back. From here, we're going to bring the soles of the feet together, let the knees drop out to the sides, and extend your arms out to the sides, reclined butterfly pose. If you had a pillow or a bolster nearby, you could place it. No. Let's take a deep, deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth, let it go. And one more deep breath in. Exhale to release. Allow yourself to relax completely. Allow the knees to become heavier, the hips to open more. We will stay here for the rest of the practice as our shavasana. If at any point you would like to straighten out the legs, feel free to do so, whatever feels like it's the best option for you in this moment. Allow your heart rate to return back to baseline. Let go of the control over your breath and try to relax, letting yourself slip into deeper and deeper layers of relaxation with each breath out. Letting go of anything, any feeling that no longer brings you joy, that no longer serves you. Leaving space to be open, to invite better qualities, new experiences. Inviting anything that you would like to make more present in your life. Backbends and heart openers are quite intense. They're really deep and they can conjure up a lot of feelings, a lot of emotions. Maybe you feel a little dizzy. So please stay here for as long as you can afford. Take the time to allow your body to heal, to re-energize itself, and make sure that after this practice you drink a lot of water and you try not to go into anything too abruptly. Try to stay zen. Move slowly, be mindful. And on that note, I will leave you. I hope that you enjoyed the practice, and I cannot wait to see you again next week.